Hey guys, I'm going to be doing a pod test today, and today I'm going to do the Albanian Red Hot. As the name would suggest, it originates from Albania, which is a small country very close to Greece in southern Europe. Yeah, cool looking chili. It's really all this marking on the outside. All of them have this crazy corking on them. They're really cool looking pods. Not a huge amount of other information on them, other than they've got a very unique flavour to them. No information I got on the heat, but it's meant to be quite sweet and slightly mild. So I don't know how I got the name Red Hot, because that might be a little bit misleading, but we'll see. This will be my first time trying it. I've been growing these this year. The plant grew pretty short before it started putting out pods, and it put a ton of pods out. The pods can get really heavy as well. This one here is it's got quite some weight to it. I actually picked this is one of the smaller ones for the sake of the video, because it's a lot of chili to eat. Yeah, some of the other ones, this one got huge, and it's really heavy. I actually had a couple of pods break off earlier on in the season, even though they've got quite a thick seed cap, and yeah, it still managed to break off the plant because it was so heavy. I decided to eat it green in a sandwich, and it was really nice flavour to it. Not a huge amount of heat though. As you can see, this one's pretty corked. The degree to which they cork does seem to vary a bit on the pods. This one here is even more corked, and I've seen pictures of some that are almost just brown. They're so corked up. So they're really cool looking to grow, really fun to look at in the garden. And what surprised me is they actually start corking even when they're green. Usually I would expect to see corking when they turn red, but it starts really early on. Yeah, cool looking chilies. Alright, so let's give it a try. Cheers. That's a lot of chili. Whoa, I don't know if I can eat the whole thing. Really thick flesh. Really thick, quite pulpy. Yeah, this one's a little bit soft. They all were a little bit soft when I picked them actually, so it's really, you can see it's really fleshy. That's a lot of chili, even in one bite. I don't really think I'm going to eat the whole thing, but texture's really juicy as well. Flavor is not as unique as I thought it would be. Reminds me quite a bit of Korean gochu. And then they've got that kind of appley tone, followed up by a quite vegetal note, like cut grass kind of note. The heat on it is building up. It's actually quite a bit hotter than I expected it to be. There's an awful lot of sweetness. It's really juicy. I'm not getting so much of the kind of savoury flavours that a lot of people have said it has. Yeah, it still tastes very much like an Annum to me, quite appley, appley cut grass. It's got quite a savoury aftertaste. I will give it that. the flavour is really nice actually. And because it's so juicy, it really covers your whole tongue. Yeah, the heat is quite mild. Fairly mild. It's hotter than I expected. It's hot indoors today. Hotter than I expected. It's still pretty mild on a scale of things. Way less heat than a red jalapeno. I find that red jalapenos can really surprise you how hot they get. This has definitely got much less heat, but I think because there's quite a lot of sweetness there, your perception of heat isn't quite as high. Really tasty. Just really, the aftertaste is really, really good, and it's all encompassing. It's like it's got a slight slickness to it, in that the top of your palate as well feels quite enveloped in this chili. Heat is mostly along the top and the tip of the tongue, a little bit on the gums underneath. Just a mild little prickle at the top of your throat. Nothing really agonizing. That's really nice. Flavor gets slightly more floral as you start to get up to the seeds there in it, which is what I'd expect. Not a flavor that I completely like, and to be honest, when I'm cooking, there's quite a lot of placenta in there. And now that I've bitten into a few of the seeds, it's not my favourite flavour. So if I'm cooking with them, I'm probably going to scoop them out. I am not someone that usually scoops out the middle of chilies. I usually just put them all in when I'm cooking. But I liked the character at the tip of it a lot better than I like where the seeds are. That's a lot of chili. Like I said, they're really, really heavy pods. Really, that's a lot of fruit I've just eaten. Much more than I do in most pod reviews. Yeah, just insanely fleshy. Really, really thick. Yeah, heat is migrating a little bit more to the gums now. It's becoming a little bit nagging on the gums. Not so much on the top of my tongue, but gums and the underside of my tongue are starting to get more heat now. That after flavour is really, really, really nice. Just really, although I was disappointed at the aroma up front, that it tasted quite similar to any other Annum that I've tried, I'm starting to agree more with people's comments that this is quite a savoury chili, purely for the aftertaste. The aroma up front is nothing special. Surprising amount of heat. I really wasn't expecting it to be this hot. But then again, this is my first review of 2016. Although I've posted some videos recently, they are from last year. This is my first pod of 2016. Not quite in fresh pod mode at the moment, so usually the first one is a little bit warmer than I expect. Wow, so juicy. You can see it's just broken apart. It's really, on this edge where it's just broken apart, it's really glistening, really lots of juice, fruity, and kind of it really just squirts in your mouth when you bite into it. Wow. At first disappointed. I'm definitely agreeing now that it's quite unique. in that I haven't tried a chili before that has quite this level of aftertaste. It really envelops your whole mouth, the roof of your mouth as well. Incredibly juicy. I definitely agree that it's savoury. It's slightly salty. Or it feels slightly salty. Not so much bitterness to it, which is nice. Although it did start to get more bitter once I got up to where the seeds are, and more floral, that kind of pithy floral flavour that I'm not particularly fond of. Yeah, I'm not going to try and eat the whole thing. That's a lot of chili, and I've only eaten yay much of it, I think. So yeah, I think we'll wrap it up there. That was the Albanian Red Hot. Cheers.